Hello everyone, my name is Maria and I'm a graphic designer, exotic cars painter, a dreamer and a car girl. This video I'm not gonna edit, I'm not gonna make any entering titles, closing titles, or tell you to subscribe to my channel. You can do so if you'd like to support me. This is just a talking video where I really want to share what I'm going through right now, because I think it's important. It's important to be honest, especially in my life. I stand for sincerity and for honesty, and I try to make myself an example where I don't hesitate to share the hardest moments of my life. Right now, I honestly feel really stuck. And that's because, well, let me start from the fact that for 2 years I have been single, and I went through various therapy sessions. I visited psychologists, I went to clairvoyants, to tarot readers, magic people, wizards, whoever it was. I went through a lot to find out what can be the reason that I cannot meet the right person. And to me, I think in my life I'm at the point where I'm spiritually very well developed, and I continue to grow spiritually, socially, and in other, let's say, dimensions and measurements. Hopefully I'm not getting fatter, to be honest. And for 2 years I didn't find an answer. I asked so many people, and my mom's response was, well, life maybe just preserves you for someone special. But I'm almost 22, and I don't think that our time and my generation is about being with choosing your partner straight ahead and going with them for life. This is an ideal scenario, but before you meet them, you need to know who is that person you may like, and are you comfortable with living the whole life with them. So that requires some experience, and I would say I have a really great experience going on dates and meeting different people. Most of my business partners are men, so I know them very well. But the problem is that I don't resonate with them all the time. I feel like if you will vibrate on such the vibrations, such the tunes that are not always resonating with people that I like or who like me. So for me, it is a whole challenge to find someone who's well developed, well doing, but also resonating with me. And I've been through these 2 years, I've been falling in love, having amazing dates, awful dates, and awful people, but I haven't met the one I would love to call special. And I met spectacular people, don't get me wrong, someone I could see as my potential partner, but some things just didn't align, and I'm okay with that. That happens, nobody has to be your perfect partner, nobody has to choose you. And I learned it very well that everyone has their own choice and their own right to just choose whatever they want. If it's not me, I'll be okay with that. Hopefully one day for someone it will be me. And that's what I've been struggling with, and it's been not an anxiety. At times it was sadness, despair, loneliness. I'm okay being by myself. I love my life as it is. There is always something I strive for, try to attract to my life. But it doesn't make my life any worse or better. It's just what it is. I prefer to be neutral about it and say, hey, I know where I'm heading. I know what I'm aiming for, what are my goals. Today I'm happy I'm waking up. I can see beautiful sun shining through my window. I'm getting my favorite coffee at my favorite place, and I'm working towards what I will call my perfect life. But today is already perfect enough for me to be satisfied. For some reason, ever since I was a teenager, or at least I was conscious enough to remember myself and falling in love and realizing the importance of partnership, I've been thinking about myself in terms of someone who will live this life with a partner. So I've never really imagined myself living by myself and always being by myself. I always imagine my life as a partnership with a significant other. And this might be old school, this might be very old-fashioned, but I really believe that our true potential unveils itself when we truly love someone and we find someone who resonates with us or is willing to support us and walk with us through life, no matter how many changes we face, no matter how challenges we may approach. That's my vision of relationship in my life. And I recently realized that I may not know who is my perfect partner. I just know what are the traits that I certainly would love to have in my ideal person. Yet I don't know, I see what I see currently. Maybe the problem is the place where I live in. Maybe the problem is that the right person is not ready for me in their life. That can be also the case. I'm not the center of the world, no matter how sad it sounds. So I realized that a lot of people around me have a beautiful rub. They're well looking, attractive, rich, socially well developed. They have a great social circle, great business or job. But what's inside is fake or rotten or just so different from what I personally believe in that I just cannot digest this kind of people, or just cannot spend extensive amount of time with them. So it's definitely not an easy task. I don't expect anyone to answer my question why. I assume there's way more people who are being single for a longer time, and I keep hearing that I'm young enough, but my soul is not young. And what my soul chooses for me is the right choice. And I know for me, the right choice is to have the partnership. I'm mature enough to know that I'll never step away from my own path where I'm developing myself, I'm creating my business, I am seeking the new opportunities to grow spiritually, socially, mentally. So my partner should be my best friend, essentially, spiritual sibling, and someone who will enlighten me every day. So when at some point I'll wake up and realize there's been years, I will be so comfortable with it. I'll be so believing in the fact that this is what was meant to be. I guess I explained it enough. That's just, I wanted to share that is a big part of my life that I'm working through, if you can possibly work on that, and that I wish would be better over time, in a way that I'll find that person and I'll be just slightly happier. Not that I'm not now. And the second thing is that scaling a business as a foreigner, as a 20-something-year-old, is not easy. Especially when you grow your connections yourself, and the only given support you have is the support of your family who are not here. They supported me financially for some time. They supported my education. Some emotional support also came from my family. But at the end of the day, there's only me and this big world and what I'm daring to take from it. One of these things is that ever since I moved to the US, which was 3 years ago now, I really wanted to grow my network. I wanted to have my people here and feel like they are the ones I can rely on. I can ask for help. I can feel supported. I can feel that these are just my people in all the dimensions and meanings. And I've been meeting very different people through my time here. As I always say, I lived 3 different lives in this short or long 3 years. I don't know if it's a lot or not. Because first I moved to Savannah, and it was kind of poor on valuable network because it's not the big city as I was used to. And it was a basically tourist city, the one where people played weddings, and the one where my university was. And as I was a sophomore, I realized I needed change. Although during that time I had a boyfriend, so that was soothing, no matter how cracked our relationship was at the end. And I also met one person that really influenced my life. It's a complicated story, not the one I'm gonna tell here or probably ever. But that was basically it for me. Then I moved to the city, and it should be that I would easily find a relationship and the right connections. And connections started to come time by time. First significant person in my life I met last year in February. His name is Mr. Watson. He's a famous photographer and artist, and I really appreciate everything he does for me. He's one of the best people I ever knew in my life. He's such a light soul with so much kindness and support that I consider him a part of my spiritual family. He was the first one to really endorse me, help me. And after this, I met another very significant person, which I thought I'm gonna date, but it didn't work out. And now I can see why, but back then I was like, it doesn't work out, I'm so sad, I'm heartbroken. But I'm glad I went through this experience because I had so many amazing moments with that person, and he's still present in my life, so it's not that bad. And then I moved to New York, and I had very high hopes for it. That is what I will call my third lifetime in 3 years. Because in New York, I met even higher tier people, and it was amazing. I was very happy. I met a gallery owner who's a very successful business guy in Manhattan. I met automobile crew. I'm a very much, as you see, Porsche car girl. So to me, that was an extension of my sincere interest for cars, for business, and I just wanted to make friends because that's my ultimate goal. Because who would be these people that not friends who will help you to grow your business in the future, maybe find a job, who will come to your wedding, who will celebrate your birthdays with you. It's friends. So all my old friends stayed in Russia, where I came from, and that's why all 3 years, if I can say so, I worked hard to establish my new foundation in terms of people. But after I came back from New York, back to Atlanta, I met more people here, the ones that really opened the whole new layer of social class and the whole new community to me, which I'm very thankful for because I really needed that. And first time in 3 years, I felt like I matter and I can bring so much value and I can be respected and interesting and just needed. So I was very happy all this happened, and I was able to hang out with these people, network with their friends, and that's how pretty much I started my painting business. I first of all was really inspired by cars. I went to Petit Le Mans, which is a smaller race than actual Le Mans that is in France. It's an endurance race where in Petit Le Mans cars compete for 10 hours, and in Le Mans they compete for 24 hours. And Porsche is well known, and this is Porsche 953, by the way, in progress, almost done. So Porsche won the most Le Mans races in history, something I really admire about this brand. And there are so many things I can just keep telling you about this brand, but this video is about me, not them. So I realized I need to find an exit for my passion where I'll employ it somehow creatively, because I'm a very creative person. That's my profession, that's my whole life. And I started painting, and I was mad about it. I was just sitting and doing art by art by art, and I started telling people, hey, I'm an artist, I'm doing this, go check out my art. And eventually I secured a client. I was very thankful, because to me his faith and trust meant a lot. It still does, we are still in contact. And to me it was such a big step for a girl who's almost 22 years old, but who has dreams of a grown-up man. As I said, I'm a foreigner, so for me legal question is also an important one. And every dream I have to twice fight for, because I want to live life where I don't have to choose, where I can do whatever I want every day of my life and enjoy it to the fullest. But to live this life, I have to work hard now, figure out how to stay here in this country, figure out my way to the fortune and wealth, and to be famous and also demanded by other people, where they will come to me to ask for my services. It's not a simple task, I tell you. In certain cases and scenarios, people may think that all you need is just a hard work, consistency, constant growth. But in reality, at least in the one I live in, it doesn't work exactly like that. There's also the world and other people who influence our lives, who make decisions, and sometimes, no matter how hard you try, if you don't have luck or you're not at the right place at the right time, it's not gonna work. And I'll tell you one thing I noticed. I've studied hundreds of business cases. I'm very interested in business analytics, business management. I watch a lot of series, documentaries, study, and read a lot of books and articles about that. And I noticed that in each success story, there's obviously a creator with a genius idea, which definitely strikes you, inspires you, but it is nothing without two things: marketing and angelic investor or believer, someone who will make the first order, make the first investment. And the second one, I tell you, it comes from luck. Because you can be very talented, you can be very successful in your own way, and you can have a very brilliant idea. But if someone doesn't buy it, they don't buy it. You can have a really good marketing that can definitely help. But sometimes some things just don't work. They just don't. And as much as I know about it, as much as I live, I realize that sometimes world stops us for some reason. Sometimes you don't find the answer why right now I struggle to find clients for my art business. I try very hard and I work a lot. I develop ad campaigns, but my business is not the one to market online, because it's a very niche business. It's very luxurious, very exotic, because I paint exotic cars and I take commissions to paint them. I obviously have my own I'm looking at them now. They are all at my wall right there. And I realize I put all my passion into it. Even this painting, I already spent 40 hours on it and it's not finished yet. I do it because I love it so much, and it means to me not just the beautiful car, something cool, expensive. It means to me much more, because I know the history and I know that these cars are not just cars, they're a piece of art, and there's so many people who work on creation of them. There's so many people who invest their minds and time and their whole lives to create the masterpieces, these metal carbon beasts that are then gonna excite people to, for instance, to order a brand new Ferrari. You have to be approved by the Ferrari itself, but then you have to wait for 2 years for your Ferrari to be produced. Do you think it's the coincidence? It's not, because this world is a whole different world. But this is all to say that after I had that very special client and I made a very successful work for him, I thought it's gonna go smoother and I'm gonna have more clients, I'm gonna grow, but it didn't happen. And for some time I was like, okay, it's gonna fix itself, because I already put my effort, advertised myself, talked to people, and I hope it just will present itself to me. But it didn't. And I figured, okay, maybe I shall reconsider my methods, and I started reaching out, but it didn't quite work. And right now I know exactly what some other steps I want to take to secure certain relationships and hopefully grow a partnership with people, for them to be my clients and for me to be their potential partner. But it's also not fast. It's taking guts, time, decisions of other people who may introduce me to that other potential clients. So it's difficult. It's very difficult to develop a business as a 22-year-old in the United States, not being a citizen, not being a green card holder, but just, every day inventing the new method of approaching it. And that's what bothers me the most. And I didn't even tell you how I applied for full-time jobs, how I have sent already 300 applications. This video is not to complain, but to explain what is happening in my life and why at certain times I may be in despair and I may stop believing in myself. But I feel like when I share it, I'll always find resonance in my audience, in other people's hearts and minds, because I'm sure I'm not the only one who faces all that. There is so much people who talk about success, and I like to talk about the opposite side of success. Success is never one person. Never. It's always about people. Success is about communities, trust, respect, and luck. And that's it for me, from me, for now. If you watched it until the end, I appreciate you so much. I hope I'll continue surprising you with some videos. Some of them will be like this format, just me talking about my thoughts and experiences. And some will be more entertaining, about some more exciting stories and what I know, and more like an entertaining format, essentially. Thank you for being here for me, and I hope you have a great day.